Warning: if the topic of psychological manipulation and emotional enslavement of women offends you, I want you to stop watching this video. And if you want to continue, you must agree never to use this knowledge to hurt women. Deal? Great. Let's start.
Okay, I've got a question for you. Can you think of anything that makes you feel worse than being dumped by someone you really love? I know from my experience that I can't. A quick internet search will come up with thousands of sites that are supposed to help you with advice about how you can get over her. And you know what? These bullshit sites pretty much spout useless bits of wisdom that simply don't work. Instead, what I'm going to do is give you an absolute solution to your problem. And I'm going to show you something you won't have come across anywhere else. You've got my personal guarantee on that. Sounds good to you? Cool. Before we get to that, I'd like you to do a little something for me. Can you spot the button below with like on it? Go ahead and hit it for me. This really helps me to encourage me to make even more useful videos like this for you. All done? Great. Here we go. I know that you're searching for a way to help you move on after losing someone you've loved. So let's cut the chase and go right to the solution. Here's the thing about getting over a woman you love. You never get over being in love. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. If it's true love, the real deal, then it'll never really die. And guess what? It doesn't matter what you do or how many ways you try to forget or move on. It's harsh, I know, but it's true. Okay, so here's what I want you to do for me. Stop fretting about how you can move on from that special woman. Instead, you should be asking yourself a much more relevant question. How can I get that true love back in my life? Here's the truth. We both know that if you can win her back, all the hurt and pain you're feeling right now will disappear, right? And luckily for you, I've got the answer to that million-dollar question right here. I absolutely know what action steps you need to take to get that ex-girlfriend or ex-wife back. And I'm going to tell you everything you need to know shortly in this video, so keep watching. At this point, I've got to warn you about something, however. What I'm going to talk about doesn't really follow conventional rules. These aren't any of the usual tricks or tactics either. If you want cookie-cutter tricks or techniques, go elsewhere. You know, crappy dating advice sites or dodgy pickup artist blogs. Instead, what I'll be sharing with you will be so much more effective than what you've seen elsewhere. I won't yank your chain any longer. So this is what you have to do if you want to win that woman back. You've got to do these three things. You must lie, manipulate, and deceive. Yeah, you didn't hear wrong. You will have to become a deceiving, manipulating, lying bastard. Shocked now? If you are, then I'm not surprised. To get her back, what you need to do is play dirty. After all, why have rules if they aren't going to get broken, right? Leave those pickup artist gimmicks to the losers and the teenage noobs. What I'm going to show you now are the stuff that works, period. I have to tell you, you're not going to find me asking you to apologize or show her that you care or that kind of shit. No fucking way. This is big league stuff, and frankly, you'll need to pull up your big boy pants to make this work for you. Listen, here's a little trade secret for you. Very few men know about this, so let me tell you this right now because those that do will reap the rewards from this knowledge. This is what you must first understand about women out there. Women's minds are naturally flawed. And guess what? If you want to manipulate any woman, you simply have to know what these flaws are and exploit them. Do you know what a woman's greatest psychological flaw is? Here it is. Women are truly emotional beings. That means when they are confronted with life choices, they are hardly rational. You see, absolutely everything that they do, every word they say, and every thought they think are based on their emotions. What does this mean? Well, very simply, it means that if you want to make a woman do what you want to do, just appeal to her emotions. Make sense? Mind control seduction experts, not pickup artists, are trained to exploit these flaws for years. We'll talk more about how to use mind control on women later. For now, let's look at a quick example of how you can exploit a woman's emotional flaws, alright? Let's say your ex-girlfriend or wife is ignoring all your calls or texts. What do you have to do for her to respond? Here's what. Do you remember I said you'll have to appeal directly to her emotions and not the rational part of her mind? For example, don't ask her, "Why are you not replying to me?" You're trying to rationalize with her by asking her for a reason why she's not replying to you. Obviously, that's not going to work, right? So here's what's going to work. You need to get a bona fide emotional response out of her to get things started. For example, you should say something like this. Maybe I shouldn't really ask. I think I might regret it. This line works because you're appealing to her emotions by triggering her sense of curiosity. Makes sense, right? Inside the Shogun method, this is something called the intrigue ping. We'll talk more about the Shogun method later, but here's what you need to know about intrigue pings. This is a technique for grabbing her attention. But more importantly, it will allow you to hold that attention for however long you want. Wait for her response. Then the next step is to use fractionation on her. So what is fractionation? Simply, it's a mind control technique which you can use to make a woman surrender to your dominance and authority. Now, don't be put off by the technical sounding name. It's a scientific term which is used to describe something that's very common in day-to-day life. In fact, fractionation is everywhere if you try to take notice. This is the very same technique that's used by books, TV shows, and movies to make people addicted to them. In a nutshell, fractionation is about telling stories. The good thing is that you don't even need to be any good at storytelling to pull this off. Done right, fractionation will force a woman's mind to experience an emotional roller coaster. And this emotional roller coaster will put her in a kind of hypnotic trance. And guess what? After she comes out from the hypnotic trance, she will become addicted to you emotionally. Sounds amazing, right? So here's the deal. If you're still thinking of getting over a woman, stop. If you truly love her, it's worth fighting to get her back. Don't be a pussy. I'll admit that the fractionation technique is rather powerful and can be overkill. But let's get real here. Desperate times call for desperate measures. The only way to get a stubborn ex-girlfriend or wife back is to use mind control on her.
When used correctly, fractionation can get a woman under your control, enslave her, and make her fall in love with you far quicker than the usual pickup artist tricks. I have to warn you, though, that it is not possible to undo the effects of fractionation. Once you have enslaved a woman using this technique, dumping her will cause irreparable damage to her psychology. Therefore, please use this technique responsibly and ethically. To learn how you can use the Shogun method and fractionation to manipulate a woman's mind and enslave her to you emotionally, go to fractionationhypnosis.com or click on this link right now.